At the time I was a bit embarrassed about my reading choices. I'm no longer embarrassed about that. I have grown, I have matured. So I find classics boring. Because I don't care. Look, stop. Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads, and welcome to the Reading Goals book tag video. I was tagged in this video by the lovely Bewitched Bex, who is excellent. If you don't follow her, you should. I'll link her channel and her video down below. She tagged me in this quite a few weeks ago now, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. So I'm going to talk about my book goals. It's more of like a general chit chat. So let's talk about books. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about books. Naturally. Sorry, I'm feeling a little bit hoo-hoo today. Don't even know what that means. I'm just getting the questions up. Question number 1. So I'm going to put this here. The first question is, do you set reading goals? Why or why not? Yes, I do, because I love goals. I love a list. I love ticking it off. I love feeling accomplished. I just love reading, and I like that it's like a little project. I like tracking my hobbies and knowing what I'm doing. I never used to set reading goals before I started watching BookTube, but or really before Goodreads. Like my earliest reading goal would have been the Goodreads reading challenge. However, I don't tend to use Goodreads anymore. I'll be honest with you, it's because I started reading a lot of like smutty romance books in 2021. Because I used to use both Goodreads and Storygraph, and I just used to update them both as I went. But I preferred Storygraph, and I used Goodreads, and then I have a lot of like work colleagues on my Goodreads account, or like people who I didn't want to see. At the time I was a bit embarrassed about my reading choices. I'm no longer embarrassed about that. I have grown, I have matured, but now I just don't use Goodreads full stop because I'm so behind. There's no point even trying to catch up. So I'm exclusively a Storygraph user. I still have the app for Goodreads, but literally never use it. Number 2, are your goals? I sounded really British then, like super posh British. Are your goals things you absolutely aim to complete, or more general themes to focus on? I usually have one goal which I'm pretty set on, which is my number of books, my reading challenge goal, and then I like to do like themes, like things that I focus on. Like before I said like different like things. I've often said things like, I want to read more classics. I don't bother with that anymore because I find classics boring. That's just me. And then I have like themes. Like this year I really wanted to read like a load of chunky fantasy series that I'm really enjoying, so like Realm of the Earthlings and Wheel of Time, things like that. I want to like make some progress in those areas. Number 3 is, when in the year do you set new goals? Usually in January, but I often gear up, like I start preparing for my goals in December because I'm starting to get really excited about the new year, the fresh start, the fresh planners, all that sort of thing, the new pages, like anything that I didn't enjoy about my current like journal setup and things like that, I can start reworking on. So I'm really excited about then. But also this year, or technically last year, I started doing goals around my birthday. My birthday's at the end of November, so I set myself some goals for when I'm 25. I should probably check in with those, make sure I'm actually working on them. But I set some really strong goals there, that of things that I want to complete. So they're slightly more specific goals, if you will. Do you have any long-standing goals that you aim for every year? If so, what are they? Yes, I do. They are my current reading goal. Well, actually no, because they always change. The goalposts always change. Before it used to be like 52 books a year, and then it went to 100. Then I was like, oh, I think I can do 120, and then I hit 120 really easy. Updated it to 150, and then last year I smashed, I think, like 183. And this year my goal on Storygraph is set to 150, but I'll be honest with you, I'm going for 200. That'd be amazing. I'm just thinking, like, when I can, I'm just going to read all the books that I want to read. I don't give a shit. Don't come for me and tell me that that's too many books. Because I don't care. Look, stop. If you're trying to comment and tell me that I'm going for too many books and reading's not fun anymore, I'll tell you you're lying. What type of goal has been the most successful by whatever metric you choose in the past? So probably my most successful reading goal has been to read more books, like read more consistently. Each year that's gone past, I've just been smashing my Goodreads goal. Or I keep calling it my Goodreads goal even though I don't use Goodreads. But yeah, so that is the goal that I'm just consistently hitting. I'm always going above what I say I'm going to read, because each year I get more and more into reading. Like, reading becomes more and more my life every single year that goes by, and I just don't know. I don't know why. It's Well Book Day. I love books. I'm just feeling soppy. What type of goal has not gone to plan and what went wrong? And honestly, the goal that I keep failing at by my personal standards is what I want is to diversify my reading by all in many different sense of the word. Like, this, it's a very, make your reading diverse, it's very broad, but I consistently feel like I need to do more. I need to work on this more. I have improved, so it's not necessarily that I'm a failure in that respect, and that I just feel like consistently I'm finding about more things that I could be doing to diversify my reading further and further and further. And every time I'm looking at books I want to buy, I feel like my purchasing is a little bit more diverse. I find, yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement, like a huge amount of room for growth, and I don't think that I'm going to be satisfied ever, probably. Do you change your goals based on how the last reading year has gone? Yes. Yes, always. Because everything changes every year and I'm reading more every year, every single year. Do you track your reading goals? If so, how? I have a journal, I have a spreadsheet, and also I have I track them if I can on my Storygraph. So yeah, I'm tracking them all over the place, and I'm going to try and bring you quarterly like stats and reports and things on how I'm getting on. Has any of this changed a lot over the course of your reading life? Yes, 100%. Before I found BookTube and I watched BookTube, I did not do this to any extent I did now. I didn't read as much as I do now. Probably read a lot less, way less than a quarter of what I'm reading now. Like, way. I used to read a lot, but not quite, nowhere near as much as I really do read now, because it's just literally everything. It's everything I do, day in, day out. So easy. And also, like, I've got so much more time now. Like, now I live with my boyfriend. Like, I don't, when we're together, it's not like every single second we're together we spend together. Like, I would spend a lot more time reading than I did pre us being together. So that's probably really helped my reading improve. The amount of reading I'm doing improve, and everything is just smoothly going upwards, because all I think about is reading, to be honest with you. It's getting a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, so this was just a quick one, a little bit of a chat. If you wanted to hear something different from me other than I don't know what this book is about, or I read this book and I loved it and I can't tell you why, great endorsement for my channel. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye.